by the time you see this, it could already be past. But this weekend, we've got a rabbit show coming up. And I didn't think to pull out the camera and take any video of it, but I made recently some carriers, you know, some little sectioned off wire cages with dropping pans underneath. I didn't make the dropping pans. That's something that I'm going to work on. I'm eventually going to get set up to make my own dropping pans. Those things are outrageously expensive. The dropping pans that we bought are 24 inches by 24 inches. That's a pretty good size carrier. But I had to go with what I had commercially available locally. I know at the rabbit supply houses you can buy, they have the more special size bottoms for the carriers and what have you. But I made do with a 24 by 24 that was available locally at a Orscheln Farm and Home store. And what I did was, I made the carrier, made it to fit in there, and just made sections. I think a 24 by 24. I think I made it into threes. I got a 3-section and I've got a 2-section. I think I just rustled up enough wire around here. I might make another one that's got maybe 4 sections in it, smaller sections for like the mini rabbits and what have you. When you start putting 3 or 4 rabbits, especially like say if you've got 3 rabbits and they're the size of the New Zealand rabbit, okay, you're looking at 30 pounds there, plus the carrier, plus the dropping pan underneath the carrier. That's a little bit more than I want to carry around. What I'm here to talk about is this cart that I'm going to try to make. I don't want to carry these things around. So what I'm going to do is that table over there that's got my bandsaw on it. The bandsaw has been unbolted. I'm going to take that off of there. I'm going to flip that over. I'm going to reuse because I don't really need the casters that are on the bottom of that cart. That cabinet is to where I can pick it up and move it if I need it moved. So I don't need the wheels on there. But I do need to be able to wheel this around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cart and I'm going to put some caster wheels, 4 of them, one on each corner. And we're just going to go from there and see what we can make happen here. Now what I've done is I was given some 3x4 posts. Anyway, what I'm getting at is I'm going to build this cart. What I've done is I've cut cross pieces here. The bottom of my carrier is going to be 24 by 24. So I want this, the platform, to be a little bit wider than 24 inches. And I want it long enough that I can set 2 carriers side by side. And then what you can do is you can actually stack those carriers. As I make more, and if we take enough rabbits to the show to need that many, then we'll stack them. Because you always take some of them off once you get to the show, and when you need to wheel them to the show table itself, you actually will only put on the carrier or only put on the rabbits that you need to move at that time. But anyway, I've been looking, and these carts are just $50, $60, $70. And if I can go buy a cart, but if I go buy a cart, I ain't gonna have money to go to the rabbit show. So what good's the cart gonna do me? So I've got free wood, and we're gonna make the best of it. Now, this 3x4, I planed these 2 side pieces down. You can use anything you want to. You could use a 2x4 here and put 2 of them together. You don't. This doesn't have to be real picky. The point is as long as you end up with the sizes that you're looking for. So what's going to happen is you see here, you see that is this is 2 feet in here. This is 2 3/8. So all together, if my math is correct, we should end up with a total combined width here of 28 3/4 inches. Now if I'm off by 1/8 of an inch there or something, y'all let me know in the comments. Well, you know, I never claimed to be a mathematician. But I don't think the rabbits will know, and luckily when we go to the rabbit show, we're not getting judged on our woodworking ability, so we'll just leave it at that. Now, I got another problem. Oh yeah, I'm just full of problems. This wood right here, what I've got are these screws right here. They're 3 inches long, but see when I run those in, you see how little sticks out of there to go into the other piece of wood. Not to mention you're going to be screwing into the end grain, which I prefer not to do anyway. That being said, I'm going to seal these real quick. I'm going to take and I'm going to put some wood glue right here on the end of this. This is a little trick, folks. A glue joint on the end grain of a board is very weak because of the way the grains, the end grain of the wood soaks that glue up. There's just not really enough left there to make contact with the rest of the piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that glue on there just like that, and I'm going to let that dry a little bit. And what happens is when that dries, it actually seals off the end grain. It's going to seal off that end grain when it dries right on the end, And then I can go along when I get ready and put some glue on here, put more glue on here that's wet. When I fasten these parts together, see there? Now that's going to help seal up that end grain, and we'll let that dry. I should have already done this. If you don't mind a lot of jumping around and what have you in the video, from when I do cuts and what have you, I'll try to, which I usually do, I try to edit out as much of the boring stuff as I can. I know a lot of you are sitting there saying, yeah, but you still leave a bunch of it in there. Well, if I did that, if I took all the boring stuff out, I probably wouldn't have a video left, right? I'm helping the trolls. I'm helping them come up with fresh new ideas to make fun of me about. Because I haven't already been made fun of all my life for being fat, so, you know, it doesn't bother me. If I wasn't supposed to be fat, I wouldn't be. God's in control of everything, except, well, evidently Satan's in control of the trolls, but he's only going to be granted control for a period of time, and then he's going to be dealt with swiftly and harshly. I guess that's our Sunday school lesson for today. Alright, got that. That don't have to be completely dry, by the way. Now, another thing that's going to happen, uh-oh, I better scoot that camera back a little bit. It's about to slide off. I got a piece of plywood down here on the floor. It's about to slide off the edge of it. I'm going to borrow a little drill that goes to my pocket hole set. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to go about like that. Something like that. I guess it'd be nice if I turn around here and show you what I'm doing. But I'm just setting the depth stop on the drill bit that came with my Kreg. My pocket screw. Now, as you can see, that right there, that's about how deep that's going to go. So, that means the top of my screw is going to be about like that. Now, if you'll notice, setting it the way that I have, all of this screw, all of the thread portion, is going to be into this piece. And that's going to, most of it, and that's going to help. That's going to help us with this. So, let me find my trusty cordless drill. Boy, I tell you what, I watch a lot of these woodworking channels on YouTube, and I'll tell you what, some of them make some of the prettiest stuff out of, you know, in their woodworking and that. But I'm gonna tell you what, I'm jealous. All of them guys, they got 3 or 4 of these cordless drills. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this up here. See that there? And now I want to center it. About like that. And then I'm going to move in. And I'm going to turn the drill the right direction. There we go. And then I'm going to scoot right over here, and I'm going to do another one. Okay. Now, if you don't have a Kreg jig, you don't have to have that special drill bit. You don't. All you have to do is use a regular drill bit. I think this is about a 3/8. All you need really is you just need a drill bit that's big enough that the head of your screw can go down in. See, like that? And all you got to do, if you got a drill press, or even if you don't, put you a little piece of tape on your drill bit. Right on here. See how I've got that depth stop? Just put you a piece of tape. Blue masking tape works good because you can see it real well. But put it on your drill bit, marking how deep you want to go. And then you start drilling with just a regular drill bit, and when you get down to the edge of that piece of tape, you don't bear down on it anymore. You pull it out. And you've got the hole to the depth you want. You don't have to have this. I'm just using this because, well, I'm blessed to have it, and it just wouldn't, when the Lord blesses me with something, I feel like I owe it to Him to make use of it. I mean, you know, that's kind of like a kid, you know. If I go spend a bunch of money and buy them some new clothes or what have you, it's kind of a moot point if they won't wear them, you know. Not that my intention was to compare myself to God in any way. That's not my point. But the point is, I'm saying that's how God would feel if He was to bless you with something and you don't make good use of it. Or at least, you know, that would be my assumption. I can't pretend to know what God is thinking. Wouldn't things be so much simpler if we knew what God was thinking? Flip it end to end, do the same thing here. Okay? I'm going to use that. See there how most of that has dried? There's still a little wet here. Doesn't take it long, but it glues up in that end grain and seals it off. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm just using that as a gauge because that's about where I want, and then I want about like that. Just move in a little bit. Okay. It takes me a week and a half to do what somebody else, what most people could do in 60 minutes. So, all right. So now we're going to start the glue up. So I'm going to put some, I like plenty of glue. We've been over this before. But this glue that I'm putting on here now, it shouldn't get soaked up in the end grain of this board the way that other glue did. So it's actually going to come more in contact with this. So now I got all that drilling done, so I need to put I love these square drive screws. There's 2 of them. I always try to remember to set my drill clutch. There we go. How about that? Alright. So we need to do the same thing with this side. Oh, I got all this wood. I need to build me a table. Build me just some stuff to work off of, some cabinet. I don't know about y'all, but you know, I thought to myself, you know, I was given all this lumber. Yeah, a lot of it's been out in the weather for a while. You know, and I understand that, but you know, I'm not the kind of person to look a gift horse in the mouth, and a lot of it is very useful. I have to do a lot of planing, a lot of cutting, a lot of squaring, and what have you, a lot of times to get down to the good stuff. You know, the thing is, it was free. It was given to me. I didn't pay a dime for it. So I thought to myself, yay, hey, that's what I've been needing, all that lumber and stuff. I said, I can build some stuff now, boy, and I can. But you know what I found out? I found out that for some projects, the doggone fasteners and hardware can be more expensive than the lumber. Isn't that sad? So, some projects are still on hold. Okay, there's that. Now, I'm going to spin it around. In most cases, this size of wood that I'm using is overkill, but ain't that just like me? Ooh, it's hot out here. Is it hot where you are? I always wonder. People leave comments on our videos and what have you. And, well, I just wonder, you know. Wonderful people you are, all of you. We love to hear from you. But I always wish I knew a little bit more about where y'all was from. You know, we're in Northeast Arkansas and what have you, and I know there's people from different parts of the world that has watched the video like that. Uh-oh, sorry, I'm bouncing the camera. Y'all hang on. Y'all hang on. Squeeze a little bit, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it run down in there because I don't really have room. Just spread it around. I'm going to get this lined up here. There we go. And we got a little bit squeezed out in different places. Just take and rub that off with your finger. Uh-oh. Hopefully the glue will work. I'm going to leave it in there. That one spun. Okay. So I am going to have to hunt up some, I've got material, but I'm probably going to have to do a little planing or cutting on it and what have you. So y'all probably aren't interested in watching that. If you would like to see more about the steps that I'm leaving out at any time, hey, by all means, leave me a comment. And the next time I do a project like this, you know, I can't really go back and redo this project because hopefully this is going to turn out to the point where I don't ever need to build another car. But in the future projects, if you're interested in seeing more details, by all means, let me know in the comments, and in the future, when I do a project like this, a little DIY, I'll be able to, put more of that in there for you. Alright, I'm going to stop the camera and get situated, and I'll bring you back when we get to the next step. Okay, folks, had to take a little break. We're back at it now. I'm going to use these 2x6s, make a nice wide platform across each end. This is to give a nice base for the caster wheels. Cut this off with the miter saw. All I'm doing right here at this point is I'm just putting it up here, and I'm going to make a little cut across the end just to square it up. That way I know I've got a square. I just take very little off, but you can look at that piece and you can tell that it's wider on this side than it is that side. That means the cut on the end here in relation to the side of the board was not square. And that's not what we want. We want it to be square. So what happens is, now, remember I told you the width of my base is going to be, 28 3/4 inches. So I'm marking this 28 3/4 inches. And then I'm to square this up. Actually, I'm just doing it so I can have a mark all the way across. But I make sure this is flat, and I'm gonna make a line. Now, I've got there's a square fence on the miter saw, so I don't really need the line all the way across to follow. And if the saw was out of square, I wouldn't be able to follow it anyway. We'll get these two pieces over here, cut them off. I like to set goals. Y'all like to set goals? One of my goals is sometime in the hopefully not too distant future, I'd like to have more than one camera, to make YouTube videos with. I thought, how nice it'd be to have a couple of them set up in different places when I'm out here doing this, because right now, I'm sure probably pretty much all you're getting is a picture of my elbow and my butt, and neither of which one you want to look at, so. Can you tell I need a new saw blade on the miter saw? You betcha. Okay, I'll put this up here. There we are. Austin's over there. He's fixing to get started mowing the yard. Or working on the yard. He mowed a little on it yesterday evening. He didn't quite get it done. We ran out of gas in the can, and nobody felt like going after any, so picked it up today. Right there. All right. Enough of that racket. Okay. So we got those two pieces. Y'all like this video. I spend more time off camera than I do on. If I didn't already tell you, I'm sure you figured it out by now. Off camera, I went and shot a little bit of paint. Nothing special. I just wanted to seal the wood and protect it. You can see I started out, I wanted to paint it blue. Guess what? I ran out of blue. So I had to start over. And I used up all the black before I could cover up the blue. So, hey, what can I say? They're definitely going to know this was done by a redneck. Some people might take offense to that. I'm a hillbilly. Okay? So there, see that? That's what we got. And now just so you know, it's a good idea to always double check your depth on your screws. See how deep? These screws are perfect. You always want the main wood, the wood that the tip of your screw is going to end up in. You always want it to have as many threads in it as you possibly can without it going completely through the wood. Also, and again, I'm not saying a lot of you know this, but to somebody who might not have thought of it, on this circumstance, you want to scoot back. See where the screws going in? They're going to be right here. We're going to scoot right over here, just past, and we're going to come and we're going to try to center this screw on this piece of wood. Okay? I hope it doesn't split. I'm not pre-drilling this. Uh-oh. Open up my clutch a little bit. Ah, there we go. Now then, didn't exactly expect that. we'll fix that. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. If I can find one of my clamps. See that? Clamp that down. That should be good. Well, I'll come over here. There. Stupid cats. Hear me dead. There we go. And now, just to firm that up a little bit, I'm going to take, I'm going to stretch them out yet, but I'm going to put a couple of this. Cut it up. Awesome. He's a rascal. You know how teenagers are. He knew we were out here trying to make a video, and he thought it would be cute. Come over here and run that lawnmower knowing that noise was going to be a problem. Two more, right about there and there. What do you think of that? I'm going to have to go up into the rabbit show with my cart. With my cart, because I'm not quite finished. There, gotta have some more screws. Alright, now I've got some little casters. Little caster wheels. Can't remember if they're the locking kind or the swivel kind. I hope I've got two of each. But I'd like to have on one end the ones that stay straight, and then on the other end to have two that swivel. That would be perfect, but that's probably not what's going to happen. Anyway, I got to take the casters off of that cart. I don't have any, and I was planning on reusing those anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and take those off. But I'm not going to make you watch me take casters off of an old dusty bandsaw cabinet, so we'll get back with you in a minute.